Good is get your ass, boys. I'm back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about today being the worst content I do believe we have ever seen in 2K history. This worse than last week, this worse than the All-Star drop. Not only because it's the third week, but individually by itself, it's the worst. Now we're gonna break it down a little bit further, but I'm gonna start with this. When you look at this and the cards you can pull, every card is pink diamond or higher, and the cheapest card you can get is Nate Robinson for 63,000 MT, and he is a bona fide scrub. Some of these pink diamonds are usable. Nate Robinson, I would say, is unusable. Some of these pink diamonds are usable. The cheapest quote unquote usable card, 126,000 MT. So when you talk about MyTEAM and the accessibility of MyTEAM, this is the least accessible drop that we have seen. Now, yes, the All-Star drop also was super non-accessible. Like, the cards in this, like, were just as expensive. And we'll get to why I like the All-Star drop a little bit more. But when you talk about the accessibility, even with this week compared to last week, at least last week we had Leonard Miller. Like, we had at least one card that we could look at and be like, well, I mean, he's at least decent for his value. This drop today has nothing decent for me, like, at all. And like, there's nothing here to really look at all. I mean, the accessibility is so small. And even Nate Robinson, the cheapest card being 63,000 MT in this set, is absolutely crazy to me. So that's where I want to start with today, guys. That's absolutely horrible. Now, the worst part about it is every top 10 card at their specific position. Brett Barry, not top 10. Gordon, not top 10. David Thompson, not top 10. JxmyHighroller, not top 10. Shaedon Sharpe, not top 10. So every top 50 card in the game is a Galaxy Opal. And it's all locked in behind gambling. We've seen that the past 3 weeks. But that combined with the accessibility is dog water. Like, at least in the All-Star drop, yes, it was crazy expensive, but at least for, 189,000 MT, we could get a top 3 point guard in the game. At least for that price, we could get one of the best shooting guards in the game in Paul George. Like, at least we could do that and get some decent cards for some MT straight away and not have to gamble for it. Every card today that is decent is locked behind gambling. Every single card. The pink diamonds all are absolutely horrible. And it's sad. All of the Galaxy Opals are legitimately locked behind gambling. Furthermore, this is only 11% discounted. So you have to spend basically $75, basically what it is, to lock in for all of these pink diamonds who are absolutely horrible for an equal chance Galaxy Opal card. Now, I'll give 2K, I don't even want to say credit, but I would say the Galaxy Opals this week, as far as all around, I do believe there's not any as bad as Rashard Lewis or Jalen Green. So I feel like, yes, the Galaxy Opals, is it worth $70? Absolutely not. Like, no, absolutely not. There's not one of these Galaxy Opals that is worth $75 at all. And if you get Blake Griffin or Ray Allen, yikes, is all I can say. For their specific positions, they're just not great. But at least the Galaxy Opals, all around, there's not a dog water one. There's every one of these Galaxy Opals, I believe, is top 10 at their respective position. And so, whatever. Like, that's part of it. But there's no great Galaxy Opal. It's not like last week, in which, you know what, if you pulled Kobe, you're set. If you pulled D-Rob, you're set. There's nobody Kobe's level. There's nobody D-Rob's level in this set, in this collection. And so there's two sides to it. Like, yes, you could say, well, the Galaxy Opals all around are better, maybe, but there's not a top-heavy Galaxy Opal that's worth $70. If all of these Galaxy Opals were in the pack market directly, in which you could buy them for $70, none of them would be worth it. Let alone gambling for the one you want and having a less than 20% chance to pull it. This content, quote-unquote content, I don't even know if I would call it that, is the worst thing we've seen in 2K history. It is the worst thing we've seen in 2K history. And the problem is right now, if I go onto Twitch, and there's going to be pack openings. Why am I seeing pack openings? Why? What is the point of opening packs today? Now, if you've grinded it with MT, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not going to just sit there and hate on people who have grinded it with MT that want to rip their packs. That's fine. Do what you want with your MT. But if you're loading up VC today and spending it on this content, it's the problem. It's what's wrong with the community. I'll be the first to say it, because there's nothing good. Even if you pull pink diamonds, like in the All-Star set, if I was pulling pink diamonds, at least in the All-Star set, if you pull pink diamond, Devin Booker, Paul George, okay, they stay on your squad. At least if you pull AD, Kawhi, those guys can play. You pull a pink diamond from this set, your best option is to just quick sell it, honestly. And I'm not even trying to get on timing today. I'm not even trying to be in a bad mood today. But it's like, this content is horrible. 2K wants the people to spend money. I see people making videos, oh, well, 2K is trying to get their money back. And I get it. The whales are still going to open packs for this type of content. But, like, for what? KG? KG doesn't have the hype that Shaq did. I mean, honestly, he doesn't. KG doesn't have the hype that Braun or Giannis did. I mean, or Kareem. That's where I'm at. This content isn't even content. And I don't... And again, in the past, I've been able to say, you know what? This content might suit this person. This content might suit this person. This content serves no purpose to me at all. At all. The pink diamonds stink. There's no buy or discount. The opals are not worth my time. I told you guys, until 2K changes something, I can't get behind it. There's not a day I've loaded up on a Friday or on a content day. Sometimes content's been on Thursdays. Depends on the week, whatever, for like NBA draft. There's not been a main content day of the week that I have been less excited for than this. And the community is the same way. I mean, it is the exact same way. If nobody is, obviously pack openings, people watch those all the time. I don't know. They just like seeing gambling, I guess. But my whole thing is this: nobody would be excited if I put out the best Galaxy gameplay. Let's say Lonzo Ball, it'd probably do decent. But people got to realize they can't get Lonzo Ball. Like, you have to gamble for him. So, I mean, are people really going to want that? Are people really going to watch that? Maybe. But I refuse to post it. Because if I post a Lonzo Ball gameplay, guess what people do? Like, man, I want Lonzo Ball. And then they might lock in the set, which is just not, it's not right. And that's the best way to phrase it. If we had a decent pink diamond, I wouldn't mind buying them and doing a gameplay. Like, if Brett Berry had a good release for 126,000 MT, cool. I buy him with MT, do a gameplay with them, and then for those of you guys who watched it, you guys can do your thing too. But there's nothing here. Agenda's way too hard for one leap year pack. We did get new spotlights, but I mean, I guess, oh yeah, leap year spotlights, 3 challenges for what? 1 leap year pack and then a base pack? I'm sorry. This is the worst content in 2K history. It is. This is the worst content in 2K history. I think this is the least excited people have been for a Friday. And I don't know how long. I see people yesterday selling their MyTEAM accounts because what is there to play for? What is there to play for? I've never seen Twitch so dead in my life. Ever. I mean, Twitch is absolutely dead right now because, again, nobody can interact with this content. Nobody cares. And sooner or later, 2K is going to give us good content and be like, yeah, forgive us. But it is just sad. And again, the best thing I can say is when 2K comes out with poor content like this, money-hungry content like this, to avoid it. Because if we as a community don't reward this type of content, guess what? They're going to give us better content. They're going to give us content in which we eventually would be able to lock in these Galaxy Opals for the 100 overall KG. That would be, like, again, make less pink diamonds, maybe make less Galaxy Opals, but give us an Ami Diamond, Pink Diamond, and Galaxy Opal set, 15 cards that we can all lock in for KG for 300,000 VC. That's the content we want. And sure, it's $70-some. I get it. If you don't want to spend that money, don't. It's okay. Like, I get it. If you don't want to spend that money, that's perfectly fine. But at least that's accessible for the community. And instead of gambling thousands of dollars hoping you can get the card you want. I mean, it's not accessible. Nobody cares about it. This is the, in my opinion, worst day of content in the history of MyTEAM. And I honestly, I don't know if it's close. Last week was bad. Last week was really bad. Last week was basically the same as this week, but at least with last week, we had Leonard Miller. At least with last week, we had Leonard Miller for 10,000 MT. That some people could somewhat interact with that content. This week, we've got nothing. We've got nothing. And so I'm just not even gonna, I'm literally, I'll talk about the content, but again, as far as like gameplays, as far as stuff like that, I'm gonna act like it doesn't exist. Like if you want to tier list and some of these, none of these cards will be on it, but even like these Galaxy Opals, like for tier lists, I don't even feel like including them anymore, and maybe that's what my switch will do. I might include the All-Star cards because I feel like a lot of people got them, but when you're looking at these Wild West cards, and the leap year cards, I feel like we've got to act like they don't exist because nobody really is opening packs for them. You look at all my cards, they got them. You know, I got Marcus Smart for logging on every day and got some of the rest of these cards as we went through it. But, I mean, you just honestly got to act like this content doesn't exist because this is the worst content in MyTEAM history. That's going to wrap it up for our video today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on it. Subscribe if you are new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.